Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Wayback Throwback, where we jump in the Wayback machine and go back to a simpler time where the world didn't suck so bad. I am Fat Ninja, of course, and I got my full cohorts of crime with me. We got PK Punk. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm very good. Another way back throwback. Well, good way to cap off a hump day.
Absolutely. All right, and we got the Riv. What's going on, brother?
Oh,
How's it
hanging
going?
in there, getting it done by the skin of my teeth. I was in timeout a second ago, but I'm here.
Oh
F
shit.
Monks put me in timeout. They were like, "This dude, we need to calm this dude down."
Oh shit, we got Blaze in the crib already. So cheer, folks. First one in the house, and I'm not late. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, better late than never. Whenever you get in late, get in early. Just get in where you fit in, bro. Thanks for coming out and kicking it with us. And then we got Pook Ninja. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
As a middle school student, I spent most of my middle school years in timeout and in school suspensions and all kinds of stuff for running my mouth and other mischievous things that I would do. So I know the feeling. But yeah, doing pretty good. Just I don't know. I was trying to get energized. Kind of my energy's low today. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe the moon and the sun didn't cross right or something. I don't know. But yep, doing good.
It's like Ghostbusters. He did cross the streams, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
We got Dan B in the house. Thank you for coming out, brother. Another one of Blaze's crew. So thank you, brother, for coming out and kicking it with us. And we finally, last but not least, we got Obi-Wan Jabroni, our gaming grognard. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Just apologizing to the chat. We lost Riff for a bit, but yeah, they sent him to the gulags apparently.
The gulag.
Yeah, he was
Believe
up
me,
in
with
the
some, of the
gulag.
with some of the stuff I say, the current administration probably wants me there. So
Oh my goodness, damn. All right, so let's go into what we've been playing. Riv, I'll start with you. What you've been playing this week so far, bro?
well, patch 6.2 of Final Fantasy 14 dropped, so I've been playing that really heavy. Found out that I'm under geared as a motherfucker, so I'm gonna have to play it even heavier to get enough gear to do some of the new content. And also been trying to finish up Final Fantasy 3 Pixel Remaster, so I could get on the Final Fantasy 4. I'm trying to play all those in order because I picked up that set. God, how long it's been? It's been almost a year since those started coming out, 1 through 6. So wanted to play those as well. I probably played Final Fantasy games I probably played all those like way too many times. I know them almost in my head at this point.
Gonzo said if you cover the stream, you'll be covered in marshmallow.
What's up, Gonzo?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Gonzo, another awesome guy, a part of our community, super awesome dude. Okay, Obi, I'll shoot it over to you. What you been playing so far this week, sir?
Not much, just the usual suspects for me. Streets Rage Remake on PC, some mobile stuff. Not well, the kind of gotcha games, but I don't usually get into those gotcha games. I don't get too addicted anyway. Geez, what else? I've got Pac-Man. What's that called? Pac-Man World coming this week, I think, and Cowabunga Collection at the end of the month. So I will have new stuff to play.
Awesome, awesome. Kick it over to Pook. What you been playing so far this week, man?
Still playing Sakura Wars. I'm in chapter 4 of that. And then I picked up Oddworld Collection for the Switch physical because it was $20 at GameStop used, and I had a $5 coupon, so I got it for $15. And
Nice.
Oh God!
I played Munch's Odyssey, and I remember that game being better than what it is now. I don't know if it just didn't hold up or my taste changed, maybe. But
But at least you can make the aliens kill themselves if you're just a like I was. And they do like the Rain Man where they just slap themselves in the head until they die. It's fucking hilarious.
Go up from behind them, go behind them, pick them up and throw them into one of those mines or something.
That was the first part about That was the funnest part about the game. I never finished the game, so I had too much fun killing the
Yeah, I
minions.
mean, like I was trying to follow the rules, and I got kind of. I mean, I got a little bit of distance in it. But it's just kind of like I don't know, man. This game's too vanilla or something. Something's I don't know. It's not what I was remembering when it originally came out on the Xbox and stuff. But
Yeah.
Well, shit. You bringing that up just. I guess I know what I'm ranting on this week. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
oh,
Here we go.
Oddworld brought up some memories.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, man, he got some
Nice.
Oddworld PTSD. All right, finally, PK, sir. What you been playing this week so far, man?
I've still been on that Lost Judgment Kaito Files DLC. Really cool little story. I'm still on chapter 2 of it out of 4, but it's been that's been really entertaining so far. Just fun being back in that Yakuza world, running around Kamurocho, getting into fights, and a bit of more old school. Went back to Saints Row 2 because that new version just makes me sad.
Wow, you're getting nostalgia from playing a modern day game. That's bad. That's fucking bad. Damn beast, I've been playing Farming Sim 22 on the PS4. Good stuff. Good stuff.
It's very surprisingly very addicted, those farming sim games. I never thought I'd like one, and then I sort of played one on Game Pass and thought, okay, I can see why there's such a big market for these.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what I've been playing so far is nothing. I don't have really any time. I had to go out of town to speak at a nephew's wedding. Started off as a train wreck, but it ended up very cool at the end, and everybody had a good time. A lot of people got drunk, so it was definitely a good time. So yeah,
This has become your video game. This has become your video game.
Yes, EV Muck Simulator. Oh shit! Yes, I haven't had a chance to really play anything, but I'm gonna try to actually take a break and actually play some games because I am a gamer, damn it. So I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, so let's go ahead and slide over to our first topic and get this show rolling.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Okay, over the years, have racing games gotten too realistic and less fun? I'll start this one off. They have become entirely less fun. Now, the more recent ones, they're trying to get that back, but they went so long with trying to make everything like a damn simulator. It's like, you know what? We don't need a fucking simulator because we already live one. It's called life. So we we want to start playing games to where we can get behind the wheel. You know, if we want to run into a damn building and blow the damn car up and there's no consequences, let us do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, but now they're starting to get back to that because there's been so much pushback about that initial question, like, has it gotten too real? And it's less fun. We play games to have fun. So yes, they have gotten too realistic and less fun. But I'll shoot the question over to you, Obi, starting off with you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, funny topic because I remember me and Pook Ninja talking about racing games not being fun, and this was I don't even know, maybe 2013 or 16, somewhere around there.
It's a while back.
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about Ridge Racer. Even the other day, we were just saying, "Where's Ridge Racer? They're not made a new Ridge Racer." So,
right.
Yeah, they have become more similar. It's like when you play a game like, I don't know, Gran Turismo, for example, you need to have a freaking car manual in front of you because you know it's so complex and there's all these upgrades you have to do. I don't know anything about. I'm not a car guy, so yeah, I remember Ridge Racer Type 4 even, and even ones before it came with a controller, like a specific controller, like Joy-Con or I forgot the other name for the other controller, the black one. You know what
those Namco ones, like the Joy-Con and
Joy-Con had the thing in the middle, right? The circular pad.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone remembers, but yeah, they've definitely become less fun. They've got to a point now where you can get the whole steering wheel set up too. Mm-hmm. So when it kind of gets to that, it's like, whoa, I don't know about the big investments.
Gonzo, he said, my kids and drivers and their simulators closer to video game than in real life.
GT is the worst because you have to have like licenses to do.
Yeah, it's like, man, it was hard enough for me to get my actual real license. Don't give me driver's PTSD for remembering how many times I fucked up before I got my actual fucking license. So, Pook, I shoot it over to you, man. What you think about this, bro?
I mean, they have been bringing out some games that are closer to the old school racers, like Horizon Turbo Racing is really good, and that's like on all the consoles and PC. And Hot Shot Racing is also on all the consoles and PC, and those are all more like an outrun style timed. On some of them. Horizon Turbo Racing, I would definitely recommend. That's a really good one. But that one's like first place, second place, third place kind of racing. But the Forza games, whatever the newest one was that's on the Game Pass, I enjoyed that game. I thought it was pretty fun. It's not arcade, but it's not like so bogged down like GT, like Gran Turismo is. And it's like that mix, the in-between part, kind of. I don't know. And it had like fun little side things that you could do. Like I think one of them was like you helped a reporter and you're racing through like weather, like a tornado and shit. So, I mean, it's still out there. I mean, and then, like I said, a lot of independent indie companies are bringing out the old style racers like Outrun, Ridge Racer style. I mean, the two I mentioned, it's only two I can think of offhand because I own those, but I know there's more. I just can't think of the names. So I don't know. I mean, I think it just depends what you pick to play, but I would, any old school racing game fan, definitely check out the newest Forza Motorsports game. Is that one, besides regular racing, had, like I said, those little wild events you could do, and there was several of them. So I don't know. I mean, I prefer the old school ones, but yeah, there is some good ones out there for today's current gen.
Yeah, Ridge Racer.
Chase HQ. I got to give a shout out to Chase HQ because I've not heard anything about
Chase HQ.
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
I know. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit kind of did it like a Chase HQ, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
No.
They definitely had different strides to what they were going for.
You know what game that kind of had a mode that was like Chase HQ was it called The Ride? Or it was like I think it's called The Ride. It was on like all the consoles and stuff. It was you could play it offline, but it was mainly an online racing game. The Ride might not be the right name, but it did have a mode like that where you would keep crashing into the car and stuff until they gave up. Like Chase HQ. Right. The Ride, I can't remember the name of it. Something like that, but it's a common game. I mean, it's a game people would know.
You just don't know it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Pook were just talking about this. Sucks being old, man. One second you got it on your mind, you fart, then it's gone.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Gonzo says there's no cross pad in my car. No, unfortunately, man. You actually got to use the actual steering wheel. That's not a prop. You need to actually grab it and steer the vehicle with it.
Yeah, I don't want a steering wheel. I want an analog nub. That's what I want to drive with, an analog nub.
All right, Riv, what about you, sir? What's your take on this, sir?
Well, I mean, definitely there's a problem with the state of not just racing games, but the car genre or the vehicle genre of games. First of all, I mean, I come from being old as fuck myself. So I remember the days of like Outrun. I remember the simplicity. I remember just, and it was just a fun little arcade game. And then somewhere along the way, we got to Gran Turismo, not to be confused with the Clint Eastwood classic, one of my favorite movies, Gran Torino, because the man is the only man more offensive than me. But Gran Turismo made it a responsibility. And it's like, motherfucker, I drive a Ford. I already have the daily responsibility of dealing with some shit breaking down on this motherfucker. I want to play a racing game. I don't want to go to AutoZone Simulator. I mean, what happened to what happened to like Road Rash? I guess because now we live in a soft society that could never fathom the idea of bucking authority. You don't get games like Road Rash anymore. The coolest bike game ever, where you just beat up other racers with like nightsticks, beat up the damn cops. I mean, that shit was fun. It was
Hell yeah.
And I mean, you think about other games like Twisted Metal, where you have the car deathmatch. We haven't seen the Twisted Metal game in a long time. Vigilante 8, that whole genre of games seems to have disappeared. Now it's just, hey, here's a game. Here's some cars to race. Very few of those games have a lot of fun because they're trying to be too in-depth with it to the point where it's almost the responsibility of having an actual car with none of the actual benefit. This is for people who are like just not dealing with it. I mean, it's getting to the point where the government is going to regulate emissions on your fucking car video games. The government's going to start regulating. I'm sorry, is that not an electric vehicle that you're racing in Forza? We shut that shit off. We're
Right.
shutting your game off. Are you not climate eco-friendly? I'm sorry, we have to turn this off. Shut this down. Greta Thunberg said you can't drive that car in Gran Turismo anymore. Get out of here, man. I mean, I just miss just the mindless fun. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm a Mario Kart guy. At least that's the most unrealistic. I mean, in fact, I wish it was the other way around. I wish the unrealism of driving in Mario Kart came into the real world, because when I'm stuck in traffic, my ass wishes I had a blue shell that would just like knock everybody off the damn road. I live in Atlanta. The traffic here is awful.
Right. Yes. Gonzo said Twisted Metal was awesome. Hell yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was, dude. Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
goodness. Yes, absolutely. Now, PK, finally you, sir. Now, what's your take on this subject?
To be honest, like I just like have very fond memories of like what classed as like the golden age of like the more realistic but fun arcadey races from the PS2 and Xbox 360 era. So like Burnout 2, the first time I played that, absolutely hooked me. Burnout Paradise is a classic, and there's a reason why I still play the remaster. Split Second is one of the ones that got forgotten about, but as a racing game, it was absolutely awesome. If no one remembers it, you basically race through a city that's getting destroyed. You can trigger traps which literally destroy buildings, change the track, and then give you new shortcuts and new paths depending on what you do in the race. And I think it's actually in the backwards compatibility list on 360 on the Xbox One, and it's well worth playing. It still holds up. We then went through that. Every game has to be really realistic because this is how we show off how good the graphics are on your console. Every single one of them wants to show off how good the graphics are with a racing game. Xbox does it with Forza Motorsport, the simulation one. PlayStation does it with Gran Turismo. And then you've got the little red-headed stepchild, which is kind of taken over to be the most fun of all of them in Forza Horizon, where you can tune it to it within an inch of its life and make it ultra-realistic, or you can be like me, set it to, I'll have some assists, thank you very much. I don't want damage to affect how my car drives. I just want to drive around and have fun. Yeah. And that's how I play those Forza Horizon games. And you need to find that balance. And I think the games now are starting to get that way, but you're always going to have the people who bemoan it and go, well, I just want to play something really... I'll never drive an F1 car, so I want to play F1 2023 and really tune the hell out of everything. Fine, you go nuts. That stuff bores me to absolute tears.
Yeah. And it was like what Pook was saying earlier. It's like, it just all depends on, what you really want. Because, like, there's some of those, masochists that like that type of shit. Like, I want to do everything that's super realistic to where if a piece of paper blows across my windshield, I'll crash into a building and explode.
You want the fucking check engine light in the damn game.
I've heard good things about Hot Wheels, the game. I know a lot of us here probably grew up. Yeah, a lot of us here grew up with Hot Wheels. I actually bought, speaking of Hot Wheels, I bought the Street Fighter V Hot Wheels collaboration. They did the actual cars.
Yeah, I've got a few of those.
Yeah, those are cool. Also, with the Road Rush thing, I bought a game called Road Redemption on Xbox Series. I've not played it because I got it on a sale. Because you know what sales are like and what they'll do to you. You buy all these games on sale and you never play them. But yeah, Road Redemption apparently is kind of like a love letter to Road Rush.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cool.
the new Hot Wheels game's awesome. Don't get me wrong, they try to rinse you for every penny you're worth between DLC packs, extra cards packs, and you have to pay either for the Xbox Series Xbox One version or the Xbox Series X version, which is £5 more expensive.
Do you
Which I
think there'll
fucking
be a
hate
Game
that
of the Year
practice.
edition? Is there going to be a Game of the Year edition? Maybe.
I'd hope so, but considering they're on Season Pass 2 already when it comes to the
Yeah.
car packs, I don't think it'll slow down anytime soon.
Oh, I
Which
hate those
is a
DLC
shame because the
games.
game's really fun.
There's that grumpy Grodnar. Going to the chat real quick. Kenny's Collectibles and Gaming. What's up, man? Another new subscriber. Thank you very much. I believe I met him from a Great Farmers channel. Kick-ass dude. So go check out his YouTube channel. It's just like his name right there in the chat. Kenny's Collectibles and Gaming. Go check him out. Go check him out. And Gonzo, so are retro games popular for a niche audience and technology has passed it by? No, I think what it is people like, especially like us, we are force fed technology because we didn't have that shit back in the day. So we had to grow up using the technology of the day. So actually, even though we're older, we still get to enjoy both worlds now. So like if Riv wants to bust out the Super Nintendo and play some on that, or he can have it on the go on his phone or tablet, that's really cool. So we get a chance to, have both worlds. But now, these youngins, that's all they know is the tablets, the smartphones,
Let
and
me
such.
tell you
So
something with the youngins. I think this would build character, and I know we got a lot of parents out there that listen to this show. You want to build character? Make sure your kid
thank you.
finds a song that he or she really wants. And instead of letting them get that instantaneous YouTube download, you sit there and you make them wait 34 minutes and tell them it's going to take 35 minutes. I'm sorry, I picked up the phone. The download disconnected. So they understand the pain of a 28.8K internet modem connection. Because I do think that builds character. They need to understand that they got it too easy. They'll stop asking for easy modes when they realize that when we grew up, if we want to get that whole album, it was going to be a 1 week excursion to download that shit on your damn computer.
Man.
And then another 5 hours to burn the CD.
And then heaven forbid that the CD was scratched somehow and you couldn't see it. Whole CD fucked up. Got to do it all over again.
Or air it out. Exactly.
Yep.
And you had to worry about the cops coming to your house because you got it off Napster.
Because Lars Ulrich was butthurt about it. I don't get how Lars Ulrich was butthurt about that, but he's okay with all the Stranger Things TikToks. They probably had to tie that man down.
Shit. Oh my goodness.
But I mean, we got retro on current gen. Sorry, but yeah, we got that game Final Vendetta. I mean, that's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up in Final Fight kind of world. So, yeah.
Fucked up Metallica joke. I remember Saint Anger is about Hetfield being mad that Lars Ulrich wasn't the one who died instead of Cliff Burton.
Oh, shit.
Oh my goodness. I think that might be getting clipped for this episode. I think. Oh shit! Oh, that's That's hurtful, man. It's hurtful. It's hurtful, but it's funny though. So yes. Anybody want to add anything else to that before we go ahead and move on? I think it's the best of both worlds. You get to enjoy both. If you want to blow off your old dusty Nintendo and play it, you can. But if you want to grab your tablet or smartphone or whatever, you get to have a chance with that. So I don't think it's really passed us by.
I was going to say one thing that's the beauty of it for us who do like nostalgia is the convenience of being able to carry everything in one go through emulation, through like the Nintendo Switch having emulation, through a lot of these collections that have 25 in ones, through these redone systems like the Sega Genesis Mini, the Super Nintendo Mini. If anything, we appreciate the technology more because we remember what it was like before when it was a lot harder to have all these games, a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult to carry it around. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. So let me go ahead and kick it to our old school gaming aficionado Pook. Like, now, what do you think about that that question. Do you think it's passed its by, or is there still a
No,
place for it in
no, there's still a
today's
place
retro?
for it because look at all the compilations that come out of retro games and like all the digital releases of like retro,
Hmm.
even arcade games.
Yep.
And like that, what's that called? Like that Hamster Company or whatever. All out of those releases that come out on like PS4 and stuff, and the
Yep.
minis that have come out over the years. No, I think they still celebrate retro with the new. I think,
My I was
yeah,
gonna add to that for a second, Poop.
yeah. Go ahead, man.
My co-host John, he has a new house that he just was able to buy, and he has a room that has nothing but all those retro arcades. And he just had his
Nice.
son, I think, is about 3 years old now, and he had a picture of just his son playing with him, and he says that's what it's all about because he wants his son to be able to have an experience at least similar to what we had. I said, well, it's not
Yeah.
similar unless you got Nathan's hot dogs. You're sitting there irritated and acting like it's time to go when he has too much fun.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I think the retro. I think they celebrate it with the new. I mean, it's not like they shun it and don't have it available. I mean, there's plenty of the compilations and downloads and minis and arcade one-ups and everything. So I mean, I'm cool
And I
with
think
it.
Xbox has got a decent library. Xbox One/series with their Xbox 360 games and even original Xbox. I mean, even PlayStation is getting on board. Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
pay extra for the
I mean,
PS Plus premium, but go ahead.
But Obi, like you said, I mean, we live in an era where if we see a new system and it ain't got backwards compatibility, we're automatically like pissed off.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
we
what's going to
want
be
all those
PC.
arcades.
It's like everything on
Mhm.
PC, right? So
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. PK, what do you think about it, man?
Yeah, I'm just like I am very much a convenience type guy because I'm very busy. I work in IT. I work long hours, so as much as I'd love to have a full retro collection, the fact that technology has gone to the point where I've got a Raspberry Pi with an SD card in it, with some games that I can just sit there and play, or I've got some image files downloaded onto my laptop of games that I genuinely do own on the GameCube and the original Xbox, but I can just emulate them through my laptop instead. It's just, I think technology has actually aided the people who enjoy retro games a bit more than hindered. Don't get me wrong, you're always going to get the people who won't touch emulation because it's not the real thing. That's fine. But those are the type of people who are keeping a CRT TV running. They've got all this, like, they're the people who've got like the James Rolfe style basements of cartridges lining every wall, and they can walk somewhere and go, yeah, I want to play that.
You know what
I'm
makes
not in
me-
that luxury.
You know what makes me the saddest about it? We got more games than I got lifespan. Let's put it like
Right.
that. We got more
Right,
games
it's
than we
true.
got lifespan. You know?
Right. Exactly. Okay, wow, we're almost a half an hour in. We haven't got past the first topic.
Uh,
Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, let's go ahead and slide over to our next topic then. Okay, so we got favorite shooters from back in the day. This is one I came up with 'cause I just wanted because I already got my couple ones, but I think what it is for shooters, we shouldn't like try to like corral them. So like if it's a third person shooter, first person shooter, top down shooter, or whatever shooter. PK, I'll start off with you, sir. What's your favorite shooter from back in the day?
I absolutely loved Black on the original Xbox. Genuinely great military style shooter, and the Time Splitters games were just something else. Picked up the first one as a launch title on the PS2, and then followed them all the way through to the point where I was actually playing Time Splitters Future Perfect on backwards compatibility on the Xbox the other night in split screen with a room full of people, all with a little corner, and still having just as much fun as I did back in the day. I've seen the list that on the show notes, so I'm not going to trip up on any of those, but I agree with pretty much all of them. So I'll let someone else talk about them. But they're the two I would love to add into the conversation. They're like that's the start of like first person shooters for me becoming a big thing on console was the games like Black and Time Splitters.
Okay, this question here, I think we've already pretty much answered it. No, the companies are not too focused on newer stuff better than the old because now you have even an increase of them making the old retro compilations and stuff. So
Mhm.
yes, the technology is moving forward, but as far as hitting that, that nostalgia nugget of love that we hold dearly, we still get that. So we get, like I said earlier, we get the best of both worlds. So
Exactly.
uh yeah, Riv, I'll kick it over to you, sir. What do you
Man,
think about that?
shooters. I mean, that's. I mean, it's such a wide net, but such an incredible net of games. I mean, I'm thinking back to the Super NES days of like R-Type. Super R-Type was an amazing
Yeah.
space shooter. I mean, you look like back in the Nintendo days. I mean, everybody knows Contra. If you don't know Contra, you haven't lived. If you're one of these young bucks out here and you haven't played Contra, sit down, stop playing all this newfangled Fortnite garbage, and emulate some Contra, because that will blow your mind. That was one of the most iconic games of our era, and it's the biggest crime right now that somebody should be in prison for is somebody at Konami needs to be in handcuffs for letting that franchise not continue on to this day, because Contra was absolutely amazing. But I mean, we talked about arcade shooters a while back when we were talking about arcade games. I mean, Area 51 was a party, especially if you were ambidextrous, which I happen to be when it comes to things like baseball and shooting and all these things. So I instead of putting 50 cents, I put the whole dollar in, grab both guns, double the enemies, double your fun, and go John Wick, mass shooting, bam, 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 bam. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you were able to do back in those days. There were so many good shooters like Time Crisis. And it's sad that we've got less and less, shooter games out there. Just everything, whether it was top down. Ikari Warriors goes without saying, one of the most underrated shooters, because SNK is more of a niche. Metal Slug, which is another SNK shooter, which is incredible and still going strong to this day. I mean, you've got so many good, shooting games. I've forgotten more shooting games than I remember. I mean, that's again the tragedy of being old, you guys. But I mean, there were a lot of them. I mean, who remembers Blaster Master? Blaster Master.
Oh, that was
And that had a
good.
difficulty level that would make these people cry today. And it was a hybrid of a tank shooter, and you had to get out once in a while. I mean, technically, even Mega Man is a shooter. It's a platform, but it's also technically a shooter if you think of the dynamics of Mega Man.
You stole my pick was Blaster Master. That's what I was going to talk about.
This was you know what, the main guy in Blaster Master, his name was Jason, so it always had a special place to be.
What's up, Nitro Freak? Thank you for coming out, bro. Hanging out.
God, that's when they knew how to make games. They knew how to do more with less. That's the beauty of what we grew up on.
Absolutely.
So I'll never feel bad about being old, because I got to live during the greatest generation for gaming. I can appreciate all of it, because we were sort of there to see the beginning.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, my pick was Blaster Master also, because just like you said, it was the exploration, because I've always been that role-playing type of guy, so like exploration is just kind of like what I just love to do. And like you had Zelda, which of course you're supposed to explore because it was an adventure game, but then all of a sudden here's Blaster Master that's taken that little niche, little genre of exploration and shove it into this futuristic, you're driving this awesome tank and getting power-ups and all that shit.
You remember the cheat to beat the frog bosses? You shot the bullet and you just, you kept pausing and unpausing to create a slow-mo that make that same bullet hit him like 30 times.
Yep. Hell yeah. And see, that was one of the things that you couldn't go on the internet and find. You had to either know somebody that actually did it, or you just didn't know about it. Right. So, that was really cool about that. So, yeah, Blaster Master was that one for me. And a little secret guilty pleasure. Pook actually turned me on to this one. I never even saw the game or heard the game, so I went over to his house and played it back in the day. Heavy barrel.
Heavy barrel.
And that's the only reason why I like the damn game, because every time you get the whole power up, heavy barrel. I would play the hell out of I that's how come I played the fuck out of the game, just to hear that. I mean, now if I could have had a soundtrack to hear that, I really probably never played it. So that's the reason why I played the game, was just because of that.
You should make that your ringtone on your cell phone. Heavy barrel. Heavy barrel.
Oh shit.
Does anyone remember Future Cop LAPD on the PlayStation 1?
Yeah, I remember that.
I adored that game again. Whereas when you go, it's like console shooters. Again, third person. Well, more isometric to be fair, based on the age of the graphics. But walking around in basically Ed 209, blowing the shit out of everyone who gets in your way.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
Yep. E-SWAT, that was another good one.
E-SWAT.
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 That was awesome. Okay,
Narc.
go
You
ahead.
remember Narc?
Oh,
the game
yeah,
where you
Narc.
shoot drug
Yeah.
addicts?
Yes.
The war on drugs taking the most extreme turn ever.
Yes. Everybody had to die. You're a drug addict. You got to die. Perfect. That was awesome. So, Pook, I'll go ahead and slide it over to you. What was your favorite shooter?
Well, I'm not going to mention the shoot 'em ups or shmups because we'd be here for another half hour because I love space shooters. I'm going to just mention like first person shooters. Of course, Doom. I still play mods of Doom and I love Doom. Doom's one of my favorite games. The whole Wolfenstein series, I've never, even the newer ones like that Youngblood or whatever it's called, people didn't like. I still liked it. But like especially the Xbox and 360, that era of Wolfenstein,
Quake.
you know, those are great. Quake, yeah, that's another one. But also like a lot of there's shooters that maybe a lot of people didn't know. I know one of them was kind of big on PC was Soldier of Fortune. There was a couple Soldier of Fortune games that I really got into because they were ultra bloody and violent. And they played good. And there's one on the Xbox. I don't know if it came from PC or not. It was called Chicago Enforcer, where it was set in mafia, like in the 50s or 30s or something. It's mafia time, and the end boss was Al Capone. You actually had to kill Al Capone at the end.
Oh, holy shit!
And there's like a lot of first person shooter games that are just like not well known that are really good. You know, I mean, I like the big ones too, like the Doom and Wolfenstein and all that. But there's like a lot of weird ones, or that one I even streamed that Ion Fury. It's made from 3D Realms that did Duke Nukem, and it's like a modern day Duke Nukem where you play as this woman, and it's really good too. So, yeah, I love the first person shooter games.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Obi, what about you, sir? What was your favorite shooters from back in the day?
I can't believe no one said it. GoldenEye 64. Have we forgotten?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
Have
a
we
good one.
forgotten? Yeah,
And
that was
Perfect
pretty much
Dark.
mine. 4-player
Perfect
co-op, none of this online business. It was local, and you could just plug 4 controllers in. It was great. It was fantastic. And you know what? The funny thing is, I'm not even a FPS guy. I don't even play. Like today, I do not play FPS, but man, it was just the fun of it and the people around you. You know, it wasn't, like the situation we had currently the pandemic.
Oh, Obi, help me remember. Did GoldenEye have the level editor, or was that not till they made Perfect Dark? Which is basically
That wasn't GoldenEye. I don't think so, Pook.
It was
Okay, so-
Perfect Dark with a
So,
level editor.
yeah,
Well,
I
no,
don't-
because I remember coming into my friend's house one day. My friend used to be like one of these heavy stoner, heavy drinker type of guys. He'd come up with these crazy fucking ideas when he get, drunk or high. And he was playing Perfect Dark. I'm like, what are you doing? And he hands me the controller without a word. And he turned all of the enemies into super aggressive fist sims, and they were all wearing overalls, and they all had like a beard and like stupid, poofy, curly hair, and they're all running at me. And it doesn't matter how
That's
bad
crazy.
they eventually just swarm you and beat you to death. And he's like, I've created an army of all fist sims. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, you're a sick man. And they're just like beating you to death.
No, that wasn't a level editor. That was something they did put in later on. You could just change the amount of enemies.
Yeah.
They had the assets you could use within the game to make NPCs look like crazy motherfuckers, like you just said. So
He just had me beaten down by fucking hillbillies in the corner. I'm like, what is this? This is how you spend your day?
yeah, I took full advantage of that too. I was being chased around by a whole bunch of copies of Tattoo from Fancy Island.
Oh, damn.
Boss, Lane.
The flame boss gonna beat your ass, boss.
And of course, it won't be Fat Ninja Game Talk Radio without me mentioning at least one Metal Gear, right? So I'm gonna go to MGS3 because it still counts. God damn it! It was still you still had shooting mechanics in there.
Still counts, goddamn it!
Yeah.
That's our grognard for you.
Now I've just got to pick someone a sucker on the panel to talk about Metal Gear. But we'll be
Yeah.
like Pook said, we'll be here for another hour.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a little list I had here. Like, well, some of the lists you
I
do
saw that.
see
Yeah.
on the
Did we mention any of them? I
slide.
don't.
No, Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30, Battlefield 2,
Yeah.
Modern Combat,
Yeah.
Conflict, Desert Storm, America's Army, True Soldiers, all the Tom Clancy series, basically, SOCOM,
Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Rainbow
Medal of
Six.
Honor,
I think people's
Killzone.
concept of shooters
Yeah.
is kind of different, you know. Like
Well,
Rick
yeah,
was saying,
yeah.
it's such a wide genre, schmucks and whatever. So
Yeah.
One of my favorite series. It's actually had a bit of resurgence recently, but the Serious Sam games.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love Serious
just-
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Again,
yeah.
just stupid, run around, destroy as much as humanly possible,
Yep.
and still one of the best copy protections ever put into a game.
Mhm.
Where if you pirated the game, after about 10 minutes of play on the first level, this giant lobster monster thing would appear that you literally could not kill. And it would just hunt you down and murder you
Yeah.
over and over and over
Oh,
again. You
That's-
pirate it again.
that's clever, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember. I mean, this is going way back. Copy protection now, but with going back on the Amstrad here on the CPC, with the Turtles game, the platformer. Basically, they gave you a book inside, which is really hard to read. You had to put it in light, and you had to put a code in. So that was the piracy protections back then. For that
The
one.
little the red sheet that you put over the page so you can actually read the passwords on it.
Yeah, terrible.
We want password grid one line C and 2F and
Yeah. I thought MGS1's piracy. Well, I assume it was a piracy measure with the whole codec thing on the back. If you didn't have the game case and everything, I think that was a clever one as well. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go to our commercial. Breaking the show. Of course, it's about EVMux, the streaming platform that I use to produce this show along with my awesome friends. Commercial is about 1 minute and 15 seconds. So if you want to go grab a snack, take a piss, whatever, go ahead and do that. And when we come back, once again, which y'all came to see and hear, Riv going off about something. So, like I said, come back minute 15. We'll come back for some more fun and shenanigans. So you've been listening and watching the Wayback Throwback.
All right, I'm live. That was easy.
Okay, we are back. Thank you for sticking around, hanging out with us on the Wayback Throwback. And of course, this is a part of the show that you really want to see. You don't want to hear me, PK, OB, and Pook run our mouths. You want to hear Riv run his. So we're going to go ahead and kick it over to Riv and his rants. Go ahead, brother.
Well, this is the Wayback Throwback. So I got to go back in the days to my first job, which was in video game retail. Some of y'all might remember a store called Microplay, and This came to me when Pook was talking about Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, and the reason I got to talk about it is because I got to rant about my first boss. He was a Nigerian man named Sheg, and this was the stingiest motherfucker you will ever fucking. This dude tried to pay me under minimum wage. He tried to make me buy my uniform. He tried to say, "Oh, $50 for the uniform." I said, "I ain't buying that. I ain't buying that because you come to work every day in the dashiki. So if you come in the dashiki, I'll just come in my street clothes if it's all the same as you. But I am paying you for my uniform. That's ridiculous. You're either giving it for free or not at all. I can walk out right now." And so this was a trip because this dude had this obsession with having Oddworld on the screen at all times. I don't know if he had a sexual fetish for Abe or what the hell was going on. I don't know if it's because they looked alike. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to marry Abe. He already had 7 fucking wives. This dude would come in, say nothing to me. He wouldn't even say hi. He'd go to Subway next door, buy a footlong, and take it to the bathroom with him. And he didn't shove it up his ass as far as I know. But what I was told by my other coworker is that Sheg shits and eats at the same motherfucking time. I'm like, I don't hear no water. This dude ain't washing his fucking hands. This was the weirdest motherfucker. Like, this dude would try to sell games for 3 times the price that Walmart up the street was selling them at the same time. This motherfucker wanted $115 for a Sega Genesis in the box in 1996. All right? I mean, now you could probably sell a Sega Genesis for that kind of money to a collector. But back then, oh, hell no. What kind of crack are you smoking? It goes without saying, eventually Sheg went out of business. He went out of business because he sucked at life and because he didn't really understand his market. But you know what? I can't hate on it because it did pay some bit of the bills. There was a lot of anime in there. There were a lot of good games in there. But on the same token, this motherfucker was how not to run a business. This was a stingy, cheap-ass motherfucker. And Sheg, wherever you are, I hope you've learned to at least wash your fucking hands because there's COVID in the world now. So I doubt he's still alive. The way that man practiced hygiene, he's probably dead in a ditch somewhere. And that's probably better for all of us who don't want to spend 30% more for video games. This motherfucker just refused to lower his damn price. This was a mad motherfucker. No wonder why the corporates ended up taking everything over. It's because you have motherfuckers like Sheg running independent video game stores and not knowing what the fuck he was doing. No wonder Microplay's dead. Sheg's dead with him. Fuck him.
And we are back. Oh my
Shig
goodness.
the stingy, man. He had a
Shig
fetish for
stingy.
Abe. he had a fetish for Abe. I mean, he loved Abe more than any of his 7 wives. That was just some nasty shit. I don't know if he went back to Lagos. I don't know if he created I don't know if he's the guy who created the Nigerian Prince email scheme. Probably, because that dude was shady, man. That dude wasn't shady. He was straight up. He went from shady to flat out ashy from head to toe. Like,
damn.
That dude was fucked up. All right.
Oh shit. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go to our third topic. Mini games. Now, this has kind of been. We've kind of fallen out of favor with the mini games because, like, back in the day, mini games were almost not like really an essential part of games, but they were a nice distraction. And with the games that we have these days that, full of exploration and, their sandbox and all that, they've almost kind of seemed to fall by the wayside beside a few gems. And I've said a couple of here, Mortal Kombat Kart and Atomic Command from Fallout 4. So now this begs the question: what was your favorite mini games from the games from back in the day? Pook, I'll start with you on this one.
And there's quite a few of them, but my favorite was Alien Storm on the Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive. Because Alien Storm, if you don't know that game, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up basically, and you have a gun and you fight aliens and stuff. But every so often, you'd get to a point on each level where you would walk into a store and it would turn into a first-person shooter, like almost not really first person shooter, more like Operation Wolf or something. And like, let's say you walked into an electronics store and there's like TVs and other kind of electronics and all these aliens are coming at you. And it's like first person, you're just shooting all them and TVs are exploding from your bullets and everything. And it's just a really cool game. But I did Alien Storm one. That's my favorite little mini game that was in there.
Okay. Mine was all the damn games from Shimu. I mean, they were damn near full. They were full games and shit. So I mean, you could lose so much time. Like, say that you had to be at a job at a certain time, you'd be late sometimes because you'd be sitting there
Yeah,
playing
Rio
the
will be like,
game.
"Oh my, look at the time.
Yes.
It's late. I better get going."
Hell yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
fucking-
yeah. So that was my Obi. I'll go ahead and kick it over to you. What was your favorite mini games for games back in the day?
Oh, it was Tekken 3. You played Gallagher at the beginning. I was disguised as a loading screen. I remember when I couldn't do
Yeah.
it, just reset the PS1.
Mhm.
When you did finish it though, I think it unlocked a character. So
Yeah,
I
yeah, it did.
believe
Tekken 1
Tekken.
unlocked Devil
Yeah.
Kazuya initially in Tekken 1.
Mhm.
Oh, was it Tekken 1? I thought it was
Yeah,
Tekken
yeah.
3. It was one of them anyway. And I know Tekken 5 had one too. I don't know what game it was. And
Ridge Racer had Galaxian. If you beat that, you would unlock cars.
yeah, seems the Namco kind of trademarked that whole thing, didn't they?
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think the trademark is still gone. Or maybe that could be a rant one day. But yeah, I believe I think Yakuza had some too. You could
Mhm.
play Virtual Fighter. So, but I think my favorite was Tekken though.
Okay. All right. PK, what about you, sir?
Yeah, on the Yakuza series, you can literally walk into full-blown Club Sega arcades, and each arcade's got at least 3 or 4 different games in there. Like they ran in there, Lost Judgment actually took it up to another level. In Lost Judgment, the main character has a master system in his detective's office, and you
Oh,
can
that's
go
cool.
around,
Oh,
buy cartridges from
Oh
resellers in the
wow.
game, and then go back to your
Nice.
apartment and literally switch cartridges and play Master System games within the Lost Judgment game, which
Oh,
I
that's
absolutely
That's
love.
cool.
nice.
Hey,
I
gotta
hey,
play
I
Lost
lost so much
hey,
Judgment
time
now.
on that.
hey,
Nice.
PK. I don't know if you ever played the Fist of the North Star game for PlayStation 4, but that one also has the Japanese Master System, the Mark III, and you could play Black Belt, which was in Japan, was the Fist of the North Star game for Master
Mhm.
System Mark III.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the Lost in Paradise, just the North Star Lost in Paradise or something it's called.
I think so. Yeah, I just know
Yeah,
it's Fist of the
I
North
love that
Star.
again.
Yeah.
It's
It's a great game.
It's like it's the one thing said that's the one series that I think Sega have done genuinely really well all the way back to the PS2 is the Yakuza series, and whether that's Yakuza, whether that's Shenmue, whether the mini games, whether that's Fist of the North Star, they always find a way to sneak something in, and the fact that like I can walk around the corner from the detective's office in Lost Judgment and play Virtua Fighter 5, Fantasy Zone, and Fighting Vipers. That keeps me entertained for at least an hour every time I turn that game on. And the
Hell
one
yeah.
as well that genuinely hidden little gem that actually became quite a big thing is Geometry Wars in Project Gotham Racing 2.
I remember
Yes.
that. Yeah.
You could
Yes.
literally walk up to the machine and play Geometry Wars, and then that spawned its own release plus 2 sequels. And all
Yeah.
it was a test of the dual sticks on the controller originally.
Yep. Yep. Hell yeah. And Riv, what about you, sir? What's your favorites from back in the
Well, I
day?
mean, I was a fighting game guy, obviously. So, I mean, with Mortal Kombat, you had Test Your Might, which was just the funniest. I mean, just trying to break every subsequent like material known to man. Like that, I think the highest one was what Diamond was the highest.
I
Because you
believe
had to
so.
work your way up
Yeah.
because like it started with like wood and then you go brick and all this and you test your might. Like it was just like you have to jam on the button like as fast as you freaking can or you couldn't do it.
I think I
Of
broke
course,
the
you know-
controller doing it.
Yeah, Jesus. Street Fighter 2 had, Capcom had some amazing ones because, of course, remember the break car from Street Fighter 2, which originally came from Final Fight. A lot of people don't remember it originated in Final Fight. If you broke the car, like the guy would come out and be like, "Oh my god," and he'd start crying like he actually broke
Oh
an
my
arm.
car. Oh
Yeah.
my car.
Fun fact, in the arcade it was "Oh my god," but because
Yep.
Super Nintendo was against religious imagery, they changed to "Oh my god." But it's just so good. And then of course you have like the
Nice.
barrel breaking in Street Fighter was a big thing. I mean that was a good time. Also, I believe it was on GameCube was the first one for us, but the original Animal Crossing on GameCube, there was one before that didn't come out here on N64. But Animal Crossing did the same thing that Shenmue did of having like entire NES games. You can play like Legend of Zelda in its entirety, Super Mario Brothers in its entirety. And I think that's around the time these companies start realizing, hey, there is a genuine market to do this. There's a lot of people emulating the shit out of our games. You might as well capitalize on it so that people don't aren't incentivized to do it for free on their computers. But there were, I mean, there were a lot of good little mini games, and it's sad that there's not, you know. I mean, it was just a fun little like break, and sometimes it would help you sort of mentally prepare for the level ahead to just sort of have that fun, and you know, because you were taking the game so seriously that you almost need a break from the game itself. The game is supposed to calm you down, but you'd start beating the game so seriously, you needed a break from the game. It was like the inception of video gaming to have those little bonus games in there.
Right, yeah.
I think MK did it the best though. They had chess, they had kart racing, they had all sorts in one game. I can't believe which MK it was. Maybe MK4 or something like that.
Well, remember they also had those little RPG modes that they put in, which were cool.
Yeah.
Conquest mode.
Yeah, look at MK11 as well with the crypt.
I like that too. I play that a lot on those on the 11 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Definitely some cool like what PK was saying. Like the games are so good, they spawn their actual full blown titles and shit. That's pretty damn epic. I mean, and for as simple as Geometry Wars was, it's just fucking awesome. All right,
someone on YouTube, real quick, about the Street Fighter 2 barrel thing. Someone on YouTube made an animation of a Revenge of the Barrel. I know Pook, and I shared it with Pook. So
yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's cool.
People on YouTube have made some really good like lore stuff regarding these mini games.
Well, you know, and also that new AEW game that's coming out's got mini games on it too.
Oh,
yeah, cool.
It's like baseball, I think, and a few other ones. Yeah.
Do you guys remember the Day of Reckoning video games?
It was on the
Cube, was it? Right? Cube, yeah. And it was like you have this mini game where you'd be fighting like henchmen, but I'm like, you're fighting henchmen and you're like literally like Batista bombing people off of buildings. I'm like, you're literally murdering the henchmen. I mean, it's not like you're just hitting them. You're throwing them off of buildings to their fucking death, and Batista is not being prosecuted. He should be prosecuted for being a bitch on social media, but that's a whole other story.
Oh my goodness! Oh boy, could be another rant incoming. Okay, let's go ahead and move over to our final topic of the show.
Stay with us. Thundercats will be back after this.
No, I think this is going to end inside a rant from Riv right here. Gamer working through his backlog is amazed how good Pong was. Now, I wanted to actually put this ahead. Professional Twitch streamer, Duncan Clyde was surprised to find out how good Pong was. I had to put this on here because I was like,
get a fucking job! Holy shit!
I thought this was the funniest thing I've seen on the internet all day. This professional Twitch streamer. So like when you say you're supposed to be a professional, that means you're supposed to do a little research. You're supposed to kind of get the lay of the land of the space that you're in. And this fucking moron made this fucking statement.
Okay, after what I just said about Dave Bautista, I want to powerbomb this dude off a building just like the Batista Day of Reckoning thing that I just joked about. Holy shit! I mean, this dude is.
Here we go.
This dude is dumb as dirt. Dumb. This is the problem with the generation that thinks like professional Twitch streamer, and he probably doesn't play anything other than like the new shit, like Fortnite and Among Us. I'm not ragging on Among Us, other than the fact that those of us who are older, who maybe went to sites, forums back when that was a thing instead of all the instant messaging social media. Among Us was a ripoff of those old text-based Mafia games that people would run on old forums. But this dude is a dumb motherfucker. How the fuck? I'm surprised how good Pong is. No, you just a dumb bitch of a fucking kid. What next? Is there a little game called Super Mario Brothers that you'd like to tell us about? Would you like to extol the virtues? Wow, man, there was this game and it had this monkey throwing like barrels at us. I didn't know what to think. I mean, it was like the coolest game ever. How the fuck do people? This is just a fool and their money are easily parted. The fact that people are dumb enough to pay this asshole to stream on Twitch, but he don't know shit about his profession. I'm tired of this shit, motherfucker. Put that motherfucker in a coal mine. Let him do some real work. Let him do some manual labor so you can appreciate. Maybe he'll appreciate Pong a little more after doing some manual labor. But this Twitch shit, man, this is why I don't even bother with Twitch. That's why I don't even fuck with Twitch. I mean, I fuck with DLive and then just alt text. That's because Twitch don't want to hear what I gotta say. You know, because I would make some of these people cry. What the fuck? For real, man.
Oh shit! I kind of figured I was going to incite around. I was like, "Fuck it, put the music back on. Fuck it."
Shit, man. I mean,
yeah,
I'm surprised by how good Pong is.
Yeah, I seen that, and my fucking brain just shut off. I mean,
Have you ever played this game called Legend of Zelda with this little girl in the green skirt? It's really cool, guys.
It's a really solid game for how old it is. It really holds up.
I just discovered this game with blocks. It's called Tetris. Where the fuck you been?
Oh, I found this new game that had a brand new concept. You're a kangaroo, and you're trying to save your kid, but jump to the top of the stage. It's fucking amazing. Yeah, it just proves once again the fucking disconnect of these, as Riv always says, woke socialist assholes.
Professional.
Yeah, professional. Yeah, that just made my whole brain I think I lost like about 100 IQ points on that when I seen that, but I had to put it on the show.
Let me tell y'all, if you want to pay a professional, pay Fat Ninja for drop Fat Ninja some dollars for hosting the show 3 times a week. Right now.
Indeed.
Indeed. No, it's just these idiots. They have this disconnect. Like, oh, okay, you call yourself a gamer. Okay, when we call ourselves gamers, but we're part of the old guard coming into the new school. We pay homage. We pay respect to everything that came before it. Because guess what? If Pong wasn't around, you probably wouldn't even have half the amount of games that are out today, because most of them were inspired by Pong, you fucking idiot.
Can we even be surprised by the generation that made Amaranth famous, probably for like sticking a fucking controller up her butthole or some weird shit? I mean, that's gaming now. That's Twitch, right? Like Amaranth sticking things up her ass. Like I'm sure by this time you could fit an entire Atari 2600 up her asshole. And that's mostly video gaming now. That's video game influencing, guys. And then they tell you don't sexualize us. You got a bitch farting into a microphone on Twitch. It's got more fucking viewers than everything that I've ever been on combined. Because some guys are thirsty and don't just want to go back to the old days of jerking off to a Playboy magazine.
Oh, when you've got fucking people like Belle Delphine selling bathwater. It's just if that doesn't sum up this generation of people, I don't know what the fuck does. The fact that she sold out of her fucking used bathwater. There's people that desperate online, and that thirsty, and also people that this will make me a quick buck.
Yeah,
fuck off, get a real job.
That bitch is a walking copy of Diablo Immortal.
Damn. Oh my god.
Only Diablo's pussy ain't been used up like Belle Delphine's. I mean, look, I know a lot of y'all are worried about nuclear war with Russia. In case of nuclear war with Russia, hide up Belle Delphine's vagina. You'll be fine.
Yeah, because you'll
all out shelter.
Yeah.
I just find it amazing how many of these Twitch video game streamers, as soon as OnlyFans became a thing, suddenly stopped streaming video games and fucked off over there.
Right. Don't make no damn sense. like PK and Riv said, get a fucking job, get a real life. All right, well, I'm totally burnt out now. Yeah, I gotta recover my IQ points. I might have to go to ICU for a couple days to get back some IQ points. So let's go ahead and slide over to the outro and go ahead and get out of here. All right, thank you once again for tuning in to the Wayback Throwback. It was a blast as always. Just thank everybody for coming out, supporting the show, showing love and stuff like that. But as you see down at the bottom of the screen, what topics would you like for us to talk about in next or future episodes? Let us know in the comments below, because definitely curious to see what the community thinks. So once again, thank you, Pook, Riv, PK, and Obi, as always, help me holding it down. Truly appreciate y'all. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So when you least expected it, I just stole your sandwich. Boy. Oh shit, I can't even turn the end broadcast button. Oh shit. Later, folks.